Just another beautiful Tuesday night for baseball in Milwaukee. The Brewers and the Cardinals. It is game 2 of this 3-game series. Tough goings yesterday for the Brew Crew as Chris Carpenter shut them down on a one-hitter. Hopefully things turn around today as the Brewers try to pick up their first win of this series. Tuesday night baseball from Miller Park. And hi, everybody, and welcome. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. Looking forward to a pitching matchup with a future Hall of Famer in John Smoltz, who matches up against Manny Parra. But first, let's get to some transaction news, Bill Schroeder, because today the Brewers calling up Matt Gamble and reinstating Corey Hart from the disabled list.
It's going to wonder, how Ken Maka is going to be able to use both of these guys. Regarding Corey Hart, Ken Maka would love to have his bat back in that lineup, provide some power, some good range, and a good throwing arm out in right field. But it's all going to come down to how Corey Hart feels. After his rehab stint, he really wasn't feeling all that strong. He got fatigued very quickly, and things just really aren't back to normal yet for Corey Hart. So his playing time will be dictated by how he feels. Matt Gamble, on the other hand, going to be tough to find that bats for him because Casey McGee has turned into one of the better offensive guys on that lineup right now. So after coming down from his stint here in Milwaukee, really didn't swing the bat as well as he did early in the season down in AAA. He was hitting about 350, and you can see where his batting average is now. So it remains to be seen how many at-bats Gamble's going to be able to get.
Probably see Gamble in the lineup tomorrow for the finale of this series. Now, pitching tonight for the Cardinals is future Hall of Famer John Smoltz, and he's pushing that Hall of Fame induction back a few years, perhaps. He's found something again in St. Louis.
He thought his career was over in Boston, and apparently the Cardinals found something with him, tipping pitches, whatever it might be. But right now he's been a nice addition to that starting rotation, throwing the baseball well, always has been a strike thrower. 1 walk, 21 strikeouts so far for Smoltz and a handful of starts. So Brewers once again have their hands full tonight.
Now, the Brewers beat him in St. Louis last week. You see the numbers career for John Smoltz. He's the only pitcher in the history of baseball to record at least 200 wins and 150 saves. And that is why he is headed to Cooperstown 5 years after he is done playing baseball. But John Smoltz, his career continues. He's on the mound at Miller Park once again, and he matches up against Manny Parra. It's the Brewers and the Cardinals, Game 2, and it's coming up next. Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards. By Time Warner Cable, the power of you. And brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. Another picture-perfect night for baseball. The Cardinals in town, day 2 of this 3-game series. It all wraps up tomorrow, a matinee with St. Louis. They'll send Adam Wainwright to the mound tomorrow. But tonight, Tony La Russa has John Smoltz on the hill. Here is the rest of his Subway lineup. Julio Lugo gets the start. He leads off and plays second base. Brendan Ryan playing short. Albert Pujols at first. Middle of the order is Matt Holliday, Ryan Ludwig, and Mark DeRosa. And the bottom 3, Yadier Molina, Rick Ankiel, and John Smoltz. Ankiel, the only lefty against left-hander Manny Parra.
And Manny Parra has done a nice job against the St. Louis Cardinals so far in his career. 10 games, 9 starts, a 2-1 record, a .313 earned run average. He really did a nice job establishing inside his last time out against St. Louis. And lefties have given Parra some trouble. As actually right-handed batters hitting at a .314 clip with 17 of the 19 home runs that he's allowed. One lefty in the lineup, as B.A. was talking about.
Here's how the Brewers line up defensively. You got Ryan Braun back in the starting lineup. He missed yesterday's game. Back in there tonight with Patterson and Garrett in the outfield. McGee, Hardy, Counsell, and Fielder around the horn. Felipe Lopez gets the day off. And Mike Rivera on his 33rd birthday catching Manny Parra, who makes his 25th start of the year. Coming off a win his last time out against these Cardinals to even his record at 10 apiece.
Yeah, back-to-back wins for Parra against the Pirates and the Cardinals. Last time out, exceptional.
Julio Lugo swinging away on the first pitch. And a base hit to start it for St. Louis. Lugo was a pain in the side of the Brewers back in St. Louis. And in his first start, he delivers with a hit. Taco Bell, who's hot? Manny Parra against the Cardinals this year. This covers 4 starts, 2-1 record, 2.42 ERA, and we're talking about the team that might post the best record in the National League this season.
And really no rhyme or reason. We talked about it on Brewers Live before the ball game. Just certain pitchers seem to have that magic touch against certain teams, but that does not necessarily mean it's going to last forever. Big league hitters do a good job of making adjustments.
So Lugo at first for Brendan Ryan. Home plate umpire tonight is Larry Vanover. Sam Holbrook is at first. Jerry Davis is the crew chief. He's at second base. And Dan Isonia over at third. There's Jerry Davis. If there is a need for a replay today, Jerry Davis is the man who will make that call. Always keep your eye on the crew chief. Now the Cardinals winning here yesterday 3-0. Chris Carpenter won his 11th straight game. 16-3 now is Chris Carpenter, and one of his best outings of his career. It's the second time he's gone the distance on a 1-hit shutout, and his 3rd complete game of the season. Carpenter was brilliant. I think the Brewers, just judging by the conversations around the batting cage today, feeling fortunate they got 1 hit yesterday.
Yeah, well, Jody Garrett's doubled down the line and left. Matt Holliday not able to get there, but would have been a big story. Would have been a bigger story had Garrett not gotten that base hit about midpoint in the ball game.
Jody Garrett saying Carpenter's stuff yesterday was the kind of stuff you'd see in a video game. Lugo takes off, now stops, and they cannot make the play. Lugo was dead to rights, and as the short hop came in, Counsell unable to get it to first. And Cardinals catch a break.
And not a good throw by Mike Rivera. I mean, he had all day. Lugo had a terrible jump. You can see not a very big lead. It was a hit and run. And Mike Rivera had some time. Bad throw cost him an out. That's how bad that jump was. Had to go back. That's not something you see every day. He was about halfway to second base.
Looked like a straight hit and run there on a 2-1 count. Now it's 2-2. And a bouncer over to McGee. Tries the out at second. That's 1, and that's all they'll get. Casey very patient and a good quick release to get the lead out. So the first out, and here comes Albert Pujols. He had the big hit yesterday, Rock, a 2 RBI double with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
And first base open, the Brewers elected to pitch to him, and Dave Bush made a mistake, tried to come in on him, left it out over the plate, and Albert Pujols with 2 RBIs.
Pujols starts the day leading the National League in home runs. He's never led the National League in home runs at the end of the season. Never won that home run title before, but he has 44 to start the day. He is 3 RBIs behind Fielder for the major league lead in runs batted in. In this series, you're looking at the top 2 run producers in all of baseball, not just the National League. Fielder with 123 ribbies and Pujols with 120.
And Manny's had a reasonable amount of success against Albert Pujols. A 300 batting average. He's only allowed the 1 home run. 6 for 20 against Pujols is Manny. That's not bad.
Pujols as consistent as any hitter in the game, and it shows up on just about every one of his stats, especially now with Matt Holliday hitting behind him. Pujols against left-handed pitching this year, batting .326. He's at .329 against right-handers, and overall .328 is the batting average to start the day.
Bottom line, it doesn't much matter, does it?
Righties, lefties.
Well, he stays on the ball so well. He covers the outside corner so well. That's why he's very effective against lefties. Most left-handed pitchers are going to try and sink that fastball away. Manny has done a nice job his last couple of starts, pounding that fastball in on the fists of right-handed batters. And that's really the only chance you have against Albert Pujols.
Ball and 2 strikes on Pujols, and he checks on Ryan at first. Well, Albert Pujols making a serious bid at a Triple Crown. It's going to take a collapse from the league's leading hitter, Hanley Ramirez, for him to achieve that goal, because he's second in the league at hitting at .328, but Ramirez is batting .359 to start the day, the terrific Marlins shortstop. Had him out in front. And Jody Garrett will make the call and the catch, and Pujols is retired. The 2 best, Pujols and Fielder. Look at their numbers and where they rank this year in the National League. Pujols second in batting, first in home runs, second in RBIs. Meanwhile, Prince Fielder comes into play today, 4th in home runs and 1st in runs batted in, and huge slugging percentages for each of the sluggers, which is what you would expect from those 2.
It's always a lot of fun when you see those 2 guys lock horns.
Two outs for Matt Holliday. Holliday comes in batting .378 as a Cardinal since the trade from the Oakland Athletics. Parra's got Ryan picked off. No throw from Fielder. So a stolen base for Brendan Ryan.
Yeah, one of the first move, and I think Manny took a little bit too long to get rid of it over to Prince because Prince had no play. That's what base stealers will do against a left-hander. They'll go on the first move, take off, regardless of whether they go home or go to first base. Takes 2 good throws to get him at second, and Prince didn't even bother.
We'll see how aggressive Parra will be with Holliday, now with a base open at first, as Ryan steals his 11th base of the year. And it comes right after him, and Holliday pulls it foul.
Well, the 3 guys in the middle of this order for the Cardinals make it very difficult for a manager to decide who they want to walk. Now, in St. Louis, the Brewers walked Pujols. Holliday hit a 3-run homer. Yesterday, they didn't walk Pujols. He drove in 2 runs with a double. Do you walk Holliday here and go after Ludwig?
Ludwig, a big home run hitter and run producer behind Holliday. Parra reaching back for a little extra early here tonight. Ken Maka and Willie Randolph, his bench coach. Talking strategy with Holiday at the plate. Ball and a strike with Brendan Ryan at second. Just underway from Miller Park. Impressive numbers. Matt Holliday traded from the A's to the Cardinals. Has as many home runs in just 41 games with St. Louis as he did in nearly 90 games with the Oakland Athletics. And the statistic that really counts, the win-loss numbers for the Cardinals. Since the trade for Matt Holliday, St. Louis is 30-11. 30 wins, 11 losses.
Well, they're scoring runs now. They weren't scoring runs early in the year. They've always had the good pitching. But now they're both a very good pitching club, and they score a lot of runs.
Holliday draws a walk. Perhaps the unintentional intentional walk there for Manny Parra.
Yeah, it didn't look like Manny wanted to throw him a strike.
Two men on base for the Cardinals in this first inning, and Parra will deal with Ryan Ludwig. Parra, in his win against St. Louis, his last time out, pitched well. He matched up against John Smoltz, but Parra gave up 2 first-inning runs in St. Louis and then settled down and worked 5+ scoreless after that. Ended up working 6 1/3 with those 2 runs and 5 hits. Ryan Ludwig's been a dangerous bat in this Cardinal lineup since he returned from injury. He was down with a hamstring injury about a month. 20 home runs, 87 driven in for Ryan Ludwig.
You see Manny, continues to try and establish that inside corner, just not able to get it. Had good command of that pitch in St. Louis, even early in the game. Got to be able to throw strikes in there.
Two and one. Parra talking to himself on the mound. Working himself into a bit of a jam here. 2 on, and now behind in the count to a big home run hitter in Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig was an all-star last year. Three and one.
Just can't command that changeup either. 1-1 count. He tried to throw a couple of changeups, but both missing out of the strike zone. One high, one low. Just trying to find that release point. Speaking of a guy that's had pretty good command, Braden Looper, all of his pitches lately. It's been about a month now.
Put a fastball by him. Parra with his best heater of the day so far, and already cranking it up to 95 miles an hour here in the first inning.
That's about where Manny's going to top out. 95. Not going to get much more than that, but very unusual to see it in the first inning.
Typically it takes a starting pitcher a little time to get to his top velocity. A few innings. He's reaching back for it here. The 3-2 lined into left. Braun is right there for it. And the side retired. So Parra works through it. He strands a pair, and now the Brewers will face John Smoltz. in the regular season. Brewers come in 66 and 71. Here is the Brewers batting order, brought to you by Subway. Corey Patterson back in the starting lineup. He leads off, followed by Craig Counsell, then Ryan Braun. Middle of the order is Prince Fielder, Casey McGee, and Jody Garrett. J.J. Hardy back in the starting lineup, Mike Rivera, and Manny Parra.
And the Piggly Wiggly scouting report on John Smoltz here tonight. Throws a lot of strikes. He always has, and he continues to do that. 1 walk, 21 strikeouts in his first 17 innings. Sliders to right-handed batters, splitters to lefties. He's got good command of both of those pitches to go along with his fastball. And according to Dale Swaim, got to ambush the fastball. You get one you like early in the count, go to hacking.
John Smoltz at 42 years of age, the oldest starting pitcher for the Cardinals since Jim Cott back in 1982. Cott was 43 at that time, the World Series championship year for the St. Louis Cardinals. Smoltz started his season in Boston, had a long rehab process after off-season shoulder surgery. Was released by the Red Sox, and tonight he makes his 4th start as a Cardinal.
A resurrection project for the St. Louis Cardinals. Smoltz probably thought his career was almost over. Really had tough numbers in Boston. It wasn't very effective, but something's clicked here in St. Louis.
Smoltz has plenty of career options ahead of him, but glad to be with Dave Duncan and the Cardinals. And it was the Cardinals who spotted not just a mechanical flaw, but a flaw of tipping pitches to the opposition, which seemed strange coming from a future Hall of Famer in as many innings as John Smoltz has worked. But that layoff led to something that was tipping pitches to the hitters in the American League. And he said it was like a 200-pound gorilla off his back when he figured it out as he strikes out Corey Patterson.
It's hard to believe, as you mentioned. I mean, a guy that's been around as long as he has, and letting hitters, kind of determine what the pitches are going to be, whether it be something with your finger or facial expression. It doesn't really matter, but major league hitters are very observant of that kind of thing.
Here's how the Cardinals line up defensively behind John Smoltz. Smoltz has been striking out a lot of hitters since coming over from the National League. So not that many balls in play when you consider Smoltz doesn't have the big fastball like he used to, but still able to rack up a bunch of Ks. Matter of fact, he set a Cardinals franchise record with 7 consecutive strikeouts in his first game as a Cardinal. That was against the Padres, and ended up striking out 9 that game.
Didn't like those American League lineups, did he?
Well, he mentioned that to us last week. He said it's not just the American League, but the American League East. When he was pitching in Boston and trying to get through the Yankees and the Blue Jays and teams like that, very deep in their lineups. Craig Counsell's had a good career against John Smoltz, which is why he is in the starting lineup at second base tonight. A .474 hitter against Smoltz in his career. 9 hits and 19 career at-bats.
Yeah, Craig makes it awfully difficult for Ken Maka to leave him out of that starting lineup. Every single night he does something to help you.
Counsell batting .290 to start the day. Continues to put up impressive numbers. He has been one of the great stories of the season. While Fielder and Braun have put up the monster numbers, especially Fielder. And while Casey McGee has grabbed a good bit of the spotlight, deservingly so, Craig Counsell deserves a lot of credit for the season he has had, not just at the plate, but defensively as well.
Yeah, 70-point increase in his batting average. Hit about .220 last year.
And a complete overhaul of his hitting mechanics. He changed up the lower half of his batting stance last year and then completely reworked the upper half this year. That is not a good sign to see Carlos Villanueva warming up. So perhaps something wrong with Manny Parra. Counsell pops up. 2 outs.
Yeah, that is not a good sign to see Carlos being away with getting loose in that bullpen, because you know Carlos is not one of those guys that is going to just get some work early in the day, and especially during the game. It looks like he's getting ready to come in the game. Not a guy just randomly tossing for no reason.
And Manny Parra has retreated to the clubhouse, so we'll send Telly Hughes down for an update. We'll get it to you as quickly as we can. Ryan Braun with 2 away, setting on a 6-game hit streak. Braun did not play yesterday. And for those who did play, after facing Chris Carpenter, I'm not sure if that puts you in a slump or if anybody else you face can't be quite as good as Carpenter. It may help you out, actually.
Well, we'll see how it affects the Brewer hitters. But one of the better pitching performances that we've seen this year, no doubt about that.
Braun shatters his bat.
And unfortunately, lost in all that was the performance by Dave Bush. I mean, he put together a nice outing. I mean, you can't have a game that's 2 hours and 18 minutes long without having both pitchers throwing well. The best outing for Dave Bush since coming back from the disabled list.
Well, Bush went 7 innings yesterday. And a slider that kind of spun up in the zone, and Braun breaks his bat. Bush went 7 innings, allowed just 2 runs. The 2 runs to Albert Pujols on that double in the 5th. And that's all the Cardinals would need. Ryan shoots that one deep to right field. That is well hit. Ludwig cannot get it. It's off the wall. And Braun is into second base with a double.
Well, I'll tell you, that's an incredible at-bat by Ryan Braun. I mean, how bad did he look in his first 2 swings? Amazing. He missed the first slider, then Smoltz jammed him, broke his bat in half. And check out the swing by Braun. Talk about covering the plate. Just a little flick of the wrist. I mean, that is a defensive swing by Braun, how strong he is, the timing that he has, and that big long bat, able to hit that ball like a rocket over Ludwig's head and right for a 2-out double. Pretty impressive at bat right there. All the pitches to Brawny in that at bat, sliders.
So Braun doubles, and here's Prince Fielder batting in the first. Cardinals stranded a pair of base runners in the top of the first inning, and now the Brewers with a chance to put one on the board. Fielder with 37 home runs, 123 batted in, and a .297 batting average to start the day. Has an on-base percentage this year over 400, 409 on-base percentage.
See how willing John Smoltz is going to be to pitch to Prince. First 2 pitches not all that close, although Casey McGee in St. Louis took Smoltz out of the yard.
He's got his camera ready just in case. Fielder swings away, breaks his bat, and slices it foul. And Prince was up there hacking on a 2-0 pitch.
He gave him a splitter. Split-fingered fastball to Prince Fielder that stayed up in the zone. Prince out in front of it. Just never know what you're going to get from these veteran starters, do you? I mean, 2-0 splitters, 2-0 sliders. You can throw them all for strikes.
Fielder into right field. That is well hit, and it is gone. Prince Fielder. A 2-run home run, and the Brewers are on the board of the first inning. Braun and Fielder do it again. Prince with his 38th of the season. RBIs 124 and 125.
Well, 2-1, a split-fingered fastball. This time Prince able to wait back and knock it on out of here. Well, You know, you don't pitch to Albert Pujols, and you don't pitch to Prince. Prince Fielder with first base open gets a splitter and knocks it out of here.
Now just one RBI short of Cecil Cooper's franchise record.
How about those at-bats by Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder? Ryan with a very defensive swing on a 0-2 slider off the plate. As strong as he is, able to get it off the wall and right, and then Prince Fielder with a split-fingered fastball knocks it out. Something else.
What an amazing year it has been for Fielder. His best all-around season offensively as a big leaguer. As McGee bounces one to Ryan, and a slick fielding St. Louis shortstop, a low throw, but Pujols digs it out. Fielder on the board again. 2-run home run. The Brewers take an early lead on John Smoltz and the Cardinals.
Lead here in the top of the second inning. Now you see Carlos Villanueva coming in here in the second inning after Manny Parra got to start. Manny Parra has left today's game after 21 pitches with neck spasms right now. So that's what we're hearing from the clubhouse guys. Manny Parra leaves tonight's game with neck spasms, and Carlos Villanueva will take over here in the top of the second inning, guys.
All right, Telly, thanks. And not good news for Ken Maka and the Brewers, counting on a consistent start once again from Manny Parra, and a lot of innings perhaps, but not to be, as Maka goes back to his bullpen early. Villanueva made some starts earlier this year, so he's certainly capable of giving Ken Maka and Chris Bosio some extended innings today. But you certainly don't want to have to go to your bullpen in the second inning.
Well, if you got to go to the bullpen, the month of September, not a bad time to have to do it, including being away with 9 pitchers in the Brewers' pen. So if need be, there's certainly a lot of options down there for Maka.
Mark DeRosa sends one into left center. That is going to go to the wall. DeRosa back in the starting lineup and delivers with a double at his first at bat. Been bothered by a wrist injury and a bad back.
I tried to sneak a fastball by him, but DeRosa had nothing to do with it and rips it into the gap for a leadoff double. So still another base runner for the St. Louis Cardinals, another leadoff base runner, back-to-back innings.
Villanueva made 5 starts earlier this year. The Brewers lost 2/5 of their starting rotation in Jeff Suppan and Dave Bush. Suppan missed a little over a month with an oblique injury. Dave Bush with an elbow injury missed 2 months of the season. And Villanueva was one of a few relievers who tried to spell that lapse in the rotation.
Started out a bit shaky, but I think had a couple of good starts. I mean, finished pretty well. Looked as though he was able to iron out some of the mechanical issues that he had, location of his off-speed pitches, but hasn't been used all that much since.
Villanueva last pitched on Saturday against the Giants. And a guy who's going along pretty well right now. Villanueva in his last 6 games has pitched 9 2/3 innings. And he's only surrendered 2 earned runs in those 9 2/3 innings. ERA of 1.86 over his last 6 games.
And the obvious choice for Ken Maka to throw out there in the event of an injury. Guy that's had some success against left-handed batters, although right now only one in the Cardinals lineup.
Molina into right, backing up is Garrett, and with room he'll make the catch. DeRosa's going to tag, and he'll make it easily to third base. So Yadier Molina does advance the runner, but the Brewers get the first out of the second inning.
Visit the official online shop of the Brewers at Brewers.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and much more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Brewers.com shop.
It's been about 3 weeks since Villanueva made his last start. So as far as being stretched out, he's still in a good position to do that. Good position to give you some multiple innings, 3, 4, perhaps even 5 innings if they're comfortable innings. There aren't many comfortable innings these days against the Cardinals, however. They've got a lot of weapons in their lineup. DeRosa at third base for Rick Ankiel.
Kind of an interesting matchup right here. You've got a pitcher on the mound that relies on keeping the baseball down, and you have a hitter up there that likes the ball down. He's got a big hole up in the strike zone, but that's not the strength of Villanueva.
In there for a strike, right at the top of the strike zone against Ankiel. Ball and 2 strikes. Got the pitcher coming up next in John Smoltz, so this is a key out for Villanueva. DeRosa at third base. 2-0 the Brewers lead. Ankiel swings and misses. Down he goes on strikes.
Good change up by Carlos. Did a nice job going up and down with the strikes in the strike zone, and a good straight change to get him. Fastball up, change up down. Well done.
Had him well out in front of it. 2 outs. John Smoltz, the hitter, does have a hit this year. He's 1 for 7 at the plate, and only his 4th game in the National League this season. Smoltz is a good hitter. He usually gives you a good at bat, makes good contact. Running the bases is a different story. As he put it, something he could do without at this point of his career. 0-2 to Smoltz.
Pitch like that will keep him off the bases, make him happy.
Smoltz giving up a 2-run homer to Fielder in the first inning. And the Brewers with the early lead. Manny Parra is out with neck spasms. Villanueva trying to work through this second inning, his first. Tried a breaking ball. Smoltz lays off. 2-2 the count. Top of the order is next. Julio Lugo who has a hit tonight. Mark DeRosa, a leadoff double, still standing at third base. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carlos Villanueva. And here we go to the bottom of the second inning. Villanueva now the pitcher of record. The Brewers coming to bat.
Now, the Brewers have gotten off to a really good start tonight with Prince Fielder's 2-run home run. But as of late, runs and batting average has been really tough on the Brewers. They're batting 160 over the last 4 games with only 6 runs scored. And that has less to do with the Brewers lineup slumping as opposed to how good of pitching they have faced, starting with the Cardinals in St. Louis last week and then coming back home, facing a really good Giant staff. And then this series, you start off with Chris Carpenter, then future Hall of Famer tonight, and John Smoltz, and you wrap up the series with 17-game winner Adam Wainwright. So it has not been an easy ride for the Brewers as of late, guys.
And on this homestand, Telly, the Brewers are going to face 3 of the top candidates for the National League Cy Young Award. The only one missing from that group is Tim Lincecum, but remember the Brewers face Matt Cain on Saturday, Carpenter yesterday, and as Telly mentioned, Adam Wainwright tomorrow.
Yeah, 9-game stretch where the Brewers have faced the number 2 and number 3 earned run average pitching staff in the National League. Tough stretch. Good for the fans to see these pitchers, but not so good for the offense.
Del Swaim, the Brewers hitting coach, says, "See me in Arizona," as Jody Garrett starts it with a single in the second inning. Incidentally, Tim Lincecum scratched from today's start. The Giants playing the Padres with back spasm, so Lincecum unable to answer the bell here tonight. Well, if they had to vote right now, and they don't, but you have to go with Chris Carpenter for the Cy Young Award. He's has the lowest ERA in the National League. He won his 16th game yesterday, and he's on pace for a 20-win season, and on pace, the same kind of pace he was on during his 05 Cy Young year.
And missed a considerable amount of time. That's how good he's been.
Yeah, he missed a month. He's won 11 straight games for the Cardinals.
His biggest competition is tomorrow's starter against the Brewers for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think you're right. Adam Wainwright, also a 16-game winner. Here's J.J. Hardy with Garrett at first, and Hardy goes to right field, a base hit. Garrett's going to try it. He'll run on Ludwig, and he'll make it. So good base running by the Brewers. And something going here in the second inning. First and third for the Crew with nobody out.
And a very good at bat by J.J. Hardy, taking that slider waiting back on it and punching it into right field. Good piece of hitting by JJ. Not just to get it out there, but to stay on top of it and drive it in that direction. And Jody Garrett, as you mentioned, knew right away that ball was going to fall, and with his speed, able to get into third base. Good base running. Good at bat and great base running by Garrett.
Runners at the corners against Smoltz. Mike Rivera, the batter. Rivera celebrating his 33rd birthday here tonight, and rewarded with a nod in the starting lineup. You think Ken Maka was going through the media guide before the game today?
I don't think so. That's Manny Parra's guy, right?
Just worked out that way.
How big of that bat is this for the Brewers? You know, Mike Rivera up there with nobody out. You got Villanueva on deck. Got to get it done right here.
Rivera trying to get one in the air to the outfield at least. Garrett has good speed. And a slider from Smoltz, a 2-0 breaking ball, and Rivera was green lighting all the way, and he chased one.
He was trying to give him some tips. Not sure if it's going to help or not. What do you think he's saying to him?
Yeah, maybe like maybe dip and drive, Carlos.
Swing hard in case you hit it.
Back leg one. 2-2. Now the way out of this inning for the Cardinals is a double play on Rivera. Cardinals are willing to concede the run here to turn 2. And then the pitcher would bat with 2 away. Smoltz has come back. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Rivera. And there's a base hit to left. Garrett will score. Mike Rivera with an RBI single. A 2-strike hit.
And another mistake with the slider. Another mistake on a 2-strike pitch and a slider. This time by Mike Rivera, knocking it in the left. That pitch middle in. And Mike Rivera able to plate run number 3. I'll tell you, Smoltz has thrown a lot of breaking pitches, a lot of sliders, a lot of splitters. Hasn't really trusted his fastball in the beginning of this game.
So Rivera with his 12th run batted in. That's a key hit for the Brewers in this inning. Now it gives Villanueva a chance to drop a bunt down. Corner infielders crashing in on Villanueva. As he takes a ball, John Smoltz an extra look at Larry Vanover. Brewers aren't blessed with a lot of speed on the bases right now in Hardy and Rivera.
Or at the plate. A lot of meetings going on. Villanueva at the plate. Brad Fisher going to talk to him. Big meeting on the mound with the infielders.
Pujols crashing in at first. And Villanueva pops it foul. Well, you got to remember, Carlos Villanueva has not had a bat in his hands in a while. Since he left the starting rotation in middle August, he has not been taking batting practice. Relievers don't hit or take BP. For a time last year, Villanueva was attempting to switch hit, primarily because he felt like he could bunt the ball better as a left-handed hitter.
Problem for the Brewers was he's had that throwing elbow hanging out over the plate.
And if he wasn't getting any hits anyway, why run the risk, right?
Yeah, why take that chance?
Three to nothing Brewers. Prince Fielder had a 2-run homer in the first. Mike Rivera an RBI single just a moment ago. 1-2. Villanueva swings away and a breaking ball from Smoltz. And it's out number 1. Smoltz again going with the slider.
Man, pulling it back and really no chance for Carlos. That's a tough matchup for Carlos Villanueva.
Here's Corey Patterson, a strikeout victim in the first. Two on with 1 away. Patterson in the National League this year is 2 for 20. 0 for 4, making 0 for 5 as a Brewer now. All right, you made it on TV. Broke his bat on a half swing.
Expensive night for the Brewers. That's 3.
What's a big league bat going for these days, Rob?
$80. I think there's a volume discount for major league clubs.
Shipping and handling?
I think they get it free. Free shipping and handling.
That makes sense. Return policy?
30 days. Non-cracked. Players do send their bats back if they don't like them.
They got to feel just right.
Yeah, they don't like them. The whole kit and caboodle goes back. Don't like them. Sometimes they send them back because it's not the right color, whatever.
Patterson down on strikes again. So back-to-back strikeouts for Smoltz. 3 straight hits to start the inning. A run is in for the Brewers, but 2 on base with 2 outs now as Greg Counsell comes up.
And what do you think happens to the bats that get sent back by major league teams?
Sent to the minor leagues?
Sent to the minors. Where a guy would be very happy to have a Prince Fielder bat.
It's amazing how hitters can just feel in their hands the difference of weight. A hitter can tell you if it's a 32-ounce bat, 31.5-ounce bat. They can feel where the weight is too, down at the end, or the handle's not the right kind of size, and it may be just off by the smallest of fractions, but they can feel it. Of course, they do it every day. And
players weigh them. They got a scale. They weigh them, make sure they're perfect.
Part of the beauty of the game is the wood bat and the sound a wood bat makes. That's why I have such a tough time with college baseball. I played college baseball, but that ping changes everything for me.
Takes getting used to.
It's a game of senses.
Yeah.
And that ping of the aluminum bat doesn't sound like baseball.
Can you imagine aluminum bat in Prince's hand?
And put up an L screen.
Look out.
That'll get back in the seats. Counsell trying to deliver here with 2 outs. Smoltz has stayed inside on Counsell. Good crowd tonight on a Tuesday night in Milwaukee, day after Labor Day. Hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. And glad you're with us. Brewers and the Cardinals on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Good play by Molina. 2-2.
Split-fingered fastball has to be down in the zone. Smoltz hung one to Prince Fielder. Ended up in the Cardinals bullpen. That's not a good spot. Most of the time that splitter's got to be in the dirt.
3-0 Brewers. Counsell up there with 2 on and 2 out. The 2-2 pitch is pulled as pulled can get. Foul. I don't think you can pull one any further foul than that. It's not possible.
Without hitting it forward, right?
In order to pull one more foul than that, the pitch would actually be on its way to actually hitting you. Or maybe even thrown behind you. Smoltz going away this time. And Counsell into center field. That is playable. And Keel's got it for the final out of the inning. The Brewers get one. Strand a pair. It's 3-0 Brew. You'll always find value at your local farm and fleet. By Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig and save. And by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin. Banana Man is here once again, and the Rally Banana is working again today. Seems to come up big regularly. Brewers have peeled off 3 runs here early. 2 runs in the first, a run in the second. And now Carlos Villanueva facing the top of the order. Manny Parra started tonight's game. He left after a scoreless first and 21 pitches with neck spasms. Villanueva a scoreless second, giving up a leadoff double, but then back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the inning. And now working in his second inning.
Had 2 good pitches for Carlos right on the outside corner.
That
nice slider that time. About that, good morning, good afternoon, good night to Julio Lugo. Wow, good pitches. Hey fans, on September 14th, 15th, and 16th, Wisconsin Coach Lines is offering motor coach service to Wrigley Field for just $15 round trip. Free parking is available at Miller Park in the Expos lot or from the Ryan Road Park and Ride. For more information, go to wisconsincoach.com. or call 877-324-7767.
not many parking options at Wrigley, so it's a good thing here.
Somebody's front yard, maybe,
for $30.
That works.
But you get locked in, though. You can't leave till the game's over. Park right next to the doghouse.
Well, after the game's over.
Looking forward to our return trip to Wrigley Field.
4-gamer.
Next week. Speaking of the Cubs, they tied a major league record tonight with 8 hits in the first inning. 8 straight hits in the first inning for the Cubs tonight. Second time in history they've done so against the Pirates, believe it or not.
Pitcher made it out. Not necessarily.
Pitcher always coming up empty. 8 straight hits to start the game for the Cubs. Last time it happened, at least the most recent, was in 1990, when the Yankees did it against Baltimore. So you start getting into that kind of territory. It's only been done 5 other times in the history of the game. This game's been around a while.
That's a lot. That's a lot, I think.
8 straight hits. It's impressive.
5 times. That's amazing.
You'd have thought maybe it was fewer than that.
Yeah.
Brendan Ryan draws a 1-out walk, and the Cardinals have a man on for Pujols. Well, the Brewers have 3 runs on the board, but John Smoltz pitching out of a mess last inning. 3 straight hits to start the inning. The Brewers only managed the 1 run. And now Pujols is up with Holiday to follow. Suddenly 3 runs don't look like a lot.
Well, you just can't walk anybody before Albert Pujols gets to the plate. Did a nice job at being away with getting Lugo, but walking Ryan, that's not a good deal. Got to make the guys in front of Pujols hit their way on.
Well, as good as Pujols has been this year, it's interesting that he's among league leaders in double plays grounded into.
Because he doesn't strike out. Mostly guys that are on the top of that list are guys that make a lot of contact.
Pujols is grounded into 21 double plays, 4th most in the National League. The league leader is 25. Ryan takes off. Pujols takes a ball, and Brendan Ryan has his 2nd stolen base. Not only did he pick the right pitch to run on, but he got a huge jump off Villanueva.
Yeah, don't even bother throwing it. That's one way a catcher can send a message to his pitcher on a stolen base. Just don't even get out of your crouch.
Well, a base open at first and a 3-0 count to Pujols. He will swing away at 3-0 if he gets his pitch. He wanted to swing there. Able to check his swing and his ball 4.
Threw him a slider. I don't blame him. He was swinging.
So 2 on with 1 away, and Matt Holliday is coming up. Quickly, the Cardinals bring the tying run to the plate. St. Louis has a big lead in the division. They start the day with 11.5 games separating them and the Cubs in the National League Central. So their magic number is down to 14, believe it or not. Combination of 14 Cardinal wins or Cubs losses, and they are the division champ, and you figure they'll be wrapping that up in the coming weeks. Cardinals are 82-57. You won't get Tony La Russa talking about magic numbers at this point, but it's certainly something he'd like to get accomplished quickly so he can then begin to set his postseason rotation. Holiday got jammed in a pop-up to Craig Counsell. A big out for Villanueva, out number 2.
And where did it come? On the inside corner. Good fastball by Villanueva. Doesn't have to be overpowering, only 90 miles an hour, but put it in a good spot. Get these hitters looking out over the plate for the off-speed stuff. You bring it in on their fists, and it becomes very effective. You see the point of contact right there. Well done by Villanueva, getting it down on the trademark.
So 2 outs for Villanueva. And here's Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig drove in over 100 runs a year ago, 37 homers, 113 RBIs, and was selected as an All-Star for the first time in his career. His third year as a Cardinal. Came up in the Oakland A's organization. Ken Maka knows Ludwig well. Came through the minor league system of Oakland. Surfaced to the big leagues with Texas for the first time. Then he just kind of bounced around. He really was never thought of as an everyday player. He had a number of injuries, including a neck injury that sidelined him throughout a couple of seasons. Cardinals picked him up in 07. He had a nice year in 07 and then a monster year last year.
Well, Cardinals giving him an opportunity to play every day. The guy's not performing, and injuries to that outfield, and all of a sudden Ludwig became one of the best in the business. Another guy that likes to get his arms extended. Very good opposite field power.
He was always a big home run hitter in the minor leagues, big prospect in that Oakland organization before being shipped to the Rangers. Villanueva's got him down 1-2. And a fastball missed. Good idea, though. 2-2 the count.
Ludwig had to snap his head back because he was leaning out over the plate, wasn't he? I mean, that ball wasn't even close to being near him, but he felt as though it was going to get there because he was looking away. Pitch came in.
3-0 Brewers. 2 on, 2 out. And Ludwig pops it up, slicing toward the seats, and that'll end up 5 rows up. The count remains at 2-2. It's a dangerous spot for Villanueva. Ludwig can provide some instant offense,
especially on a pitch like the one that he just threw. That slider that stayed up in the strike zone about middle away. That's the conversation that Mike Rivera went out and had with him. Hey, look, don't be afraid to come inside. Remember what we did to Matt Holliday.
Again with a 2-2. And Ludwig into center field. Patterson right there. And the Brewers get out of it. 3-0. The Brewers lead the Cardinals. When we come back, we will visit with Chris Bosio, Brewers pitching coach. By Brewer pitching coach Chris Bosio. And Bosio, Manny Parra out of this game after 1 inning. What can you tell us about his health status?
Well, he threw a pitch to Holiday, and he felt like a little shooting pain down his neck, and came in after the inning, and the medical staff got together with him and determined that he wasn't going to go any further. So we'll leave it up to the medical staff from here, and it'll be a wait and see.
How much can you expect, Chris, from Carlos Villanueva here tonight?
Well, right now we're going one batter at a time, and right now he's got us through 2, and try to work on the fastball command a little bit, but it looks like he's got good off speed and got good tilt on that. So let's try to get another 0 up next inning.
Let's go back one day. Dave Bush, what a great outing for him.
Yeah, Bushy felt pretty good about it. Only a couple mistakes for him, off speed pitch, and then the ball to Pujols, but a lot of good things out of him. He threw the ball well.
Chris, as you watch John Smoltz pitch, is there anything that you watch with John Smoltz? Of course, he's a future Hall of Famer. Anything that your pitchers will watch when he's on the mound?
Well, I think just his focus, getting on there, and his tempo. That's something we've been working on with a lot of the guys. Is find your own little key, whether it's a tap, an arm path thing, a finish. Watch these guys. You can learn something from them.
We appreciate your time and your insights tonight, Chris. Thanks.
All right, yeah.
That's Chris Bosio, Brewers pitching coach. Always great to get some of the coaches or players who join us during the game. They really do offer some in-dugout insights that we normally wouldn't get, and we certainly appreciate the Brewers allowing us to do that. Not a lot of teams give you access inside that dugout.
And miking coaches and during the game and getting those interviews, that's good stuff.
Well, Fielder up there with 1 away. Prince belted home run number 38 in his last at bat, a 2-run homer in the first. That put the Brewers on the board. And he goes the other way this time, a base hit. Fielder is 2 for 2 against John Smoltz. He pulls one out and then goes to the opposite field for his hits tonight.
Not just a power hitter anymore, not Prince Fielder. A slider that stayed upstairs, and Prince able to take it to the opposite field. Well done. I mean, that's just a beautiful piece of hitting by a power hitter. Out of the reach of Mark DeRosa, who was playing over toward the hole, and a base hit for Prince.
So he can give you Reggie Jackson and Rod Carew all in the same game. McGee off the end of the bat, flies out to center field. 2 outs. More than just a power hitter, and that was the moniker on Fielder when he arrived to the big leagues. He looks like a power hitter. He's built like a home run derby champ, but he can do more than that. He's a potential 300 hitter in the big leagues.
He is a perfect example of a hitter that trusts his hands. He knows that he didn't have to, start the bat too soon. That's why he, does a pretty good job on pitches away. Knows he can wait back, but still get the bat head out there.
Smoltz has given up 6 hits and 3 runs in the early going. Released by the Red Sox on August 17th. He was signed by the Cardinals 2 days later. And making his 4th start in the National League here tonight. At 42 years of age. He spent 21 years in Atlanta. This is his 12th big league start of the season. 8 of those coming as a Red Sox. Had a 2-5 record in Boston with an ERA over 8.
Good take right there by Jody Garrett. A 2-ball, no strike, split fingered fastball to Jody Garrett.
Seen that from Smoltz a couple of times in this game.
Just not willing to throw his fastball much tonight. Very surprising.
There's a fastball, and it's in there for a strike.
Yeah, pretty straight for Smoltz. Not a whole lot of movement on it, at least not tonight. And that last one at 91. Here's a guy that used to throw in the mid-90s. It's got to be tough for him to make that kind of an adjustment.
Garrett hits one hard into deep left center field, and it's run down by Rick Ankiel. What a play. Wow. Ankiel fetched one in deep left center. And the inning is over as Jody Garrett robbed of extra bases and an RBI. Great catch by Anquillo. Who we think is the best pitching staff in the National League, the Cardinals or the Giants. The top two staffs in the league. The Dodgers are up there with them, of course, but the starting pitching is what separates these two staffs from the others in the league. And you got Wainwright, a 17-game winner, Carpenter, a 16-game winner. Piñeiro's been great this year. He's having a career year in St. Louis. Of course, the Giants boast Lincecum, the reigning Cy Young Award winner. Matt Cain, who's making a run at another a Cy Young and another award in San Francisco. Jonathan Sanchez, kind of the last man on that starting rotation, and he threw a no-hitter earlier this year.
Well, you had Kyle Lose to the Cardinals starting rotation. I think you'd have to give the nod to those guys. Cardinals. But how can you choose one over the other? They're all good. Dodgers have the best earned run average in the National League by a single point over the Giants.
And it is a former Dodger that has made the Giants rotation even better. Brad Penny, who's had 2 good games as a member of the Giants. He, like Smoltz, released by the Red Sox. Villanueva facing DeRosa again. DeRosa doubled off Carlos to start the second inning. And it gets him to chase one. 2-2 the count on Mark DeRosa. Manny Parra started, went 1 inning. Had to leave with neck spasms. Villanueva working in his 3rd inning. And as Chris Bosio told us just a moment ago in our in-dugout interview, they're taking it batter by batter with Villanueva. Good sequence there to get DeRosa coming all the way back and striking out the talented Cardinal third baseman.
Yeah, 4 strikeouts now for Carlos. Well-placed slider that time.
Aflac trivia tonight. Since 2001, who is the only player in Major League Baseball to have more home runs than Albert Pujols? You think that'd have to come from a hitter-friendly ballpark, right?
Philly?
Perhaps. Philadelphia, it's a good one. 2001 is kind of the demarcation year for Pujols. That was his rookie year.
A-Rod?
A-Rod's a good guess. Maybe Ryan Howard. Just some names to throw out there. If you want to put Prince Fielder in that mix, you started in 06. See, we can kind of work the stats any way we want, you know. That's what Brian Mikulášek does when he's really on his game. You want to make sure there are a few Brewers involved. We'll work them out.
Yeah. Well, when he tries.
Yeah, he tries. When he's here. He's here tonight, right?
I think.
Villanueva, another strikeout. That's his 5th. In 2 2/3 innings, Carlos Villanueva has racked up 5 punch-outs and getting a number of those on the slider.
Well, the only hit that he's given up was the first batter that he faced, that fastball that DeRosa knocked into left center for a leadoff double. Since that time, it's only been 2 walks.
Here's Ankiel. And he chases one. That's the same pitch that struck him out in the 2nd inning. Ankiel has big power and big strikeout potential. He takes a hack. Two and 1. Ankiel still just 29 years of age. He was in the big leagues at the age of 19 as a big league pitcher. Went from a pitcher to a position player. He made the switch kind of starting in the 03 season. And started the long climb back. He had to go down to the lowest levels of the minor leagues as a hitter.
Tough thing to do. Most of the time you see players start out as position players and go to the mound once they realize they can't hit enough to play at the big league level.
Got him. Struck him out on a high fastball. And Carlos Villanueva strikes out the side in the 4th inning. Punches out DeRosa, Molina, and Ankiel. 3-0 Brewers.
Jeff Suppan as the local winner of the Roberto Clemente Award. Jeff contributes $100,000 each year to Brewers Charities, the official charity of the Milwaukee Brewers, to support activities and programs targeted to youth recreation, scholarships, and education throughout Wisconsin. Another way that Jeff will be honoring our troops is through the Honor Flight Stars and Stripes program, where he has agreed to make a contribution of $10,000 to allow veterans of World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War to visit their respective memorials in Washington, guys.
All right, Telly, thanks a lot. And a good thing for Jeff Suppan. Again, the Roberto Clemente representative from the Brewers.
It's quite the prestigious award in baseball these days. It was Albert Pujols that won that award last year.
Suppan's older brother was in the military, and the military cause, whatever it may be, whether it's the 4 seats or a number of other charities he's involved in, always does a good job. Hardy strikes out. Smoltz with his 4th punch out. Seems to have settled down. The Brewers had him on the ropes in the second. 3 straight hits to start the inning. Mike Rivera drove in the 3rd Brewers run. It was a run in, nobody out, 2 on, and Smoltz retired the next 3 in order, and he's only given up 1 hit since. That was Fielder's single in the 3rd inning. Rivera into right field, pretty well hit. Back is Ludwig with room. He's got it at the wall. Wrong part of the ballpark for Mike Rivera. 2 outs. Aflac trivia. Since 2001, Albert Pujols' rookie year, who is the only player in baseball to have more home runs than El Hombre. And the Duck says Alex Rodriguez, good call. 388 home runs. Pujols has 363. Tome's on that list. I guess Ryan Howard really didn't get cranking until a few years after that. Matt Gamble pinch hitting, gets a nice hand from this Brewers crowd. Villanueva is out after 3 scoreless innings.
Great job, wasn't it?
6 strikeouts for Villanueva, only 2 walks, and only 1 hit. That was a leadoff double by DeRosa, the first batter he faced.
It's got to feel good for Carlos. What a wild card. You know, you get your starting pitcher, only he's able to go 1 inning. It's an emergency appearance by Carlos, and he eats up 3 big innings for his manager.
And again, without the deep bench and the deep bullpen that you have with September call-ups, this might even be a spot where you'd see Villanueva hit and try to extend in this game. But because you have so many options, take a shot at it. Gamble certainly the power to hit 1 out. 4 big league home runs for Gamble. Just arrived to the ball club today. He and Corey Hart were both placed on the active roster.
Pretty close pitch right there.
And Smoltz not happy with Larry Vanover behind the plate.
Oh man, tough pitch to take. Might have been a bit low.
Struck him out, so Gamble is gone. Smoltz with a 1-2-3 inning, the first of the night.
side, a guy that competes and enjoys winning and enjoys doing things the right way. And I'm happy to see that he's landing in a good spot, a place that'll appreciate his duties and ultimately get another opportunity to possibly be in the postseason. But Johnny's just a class act, and it's been fun to watch him from afar.
From one future Hall of Famer and Trevor Hoffman to another in John Smoltz. Mutual respect between those two. They have played against each other for many years, nearly 2 decades, and of course they played together on a number of National League All-Star teams. Smoltz leads off this 5th inning.
And John Smoltz did exactly what Trevor Hoffman has been doing it throughout his career. Smoltz a starter and a closer in his career.
Smoltz bounces one over to McGee. Plenty of time, and Smoltz is retired as DeFelice retires his first hitter.
Hey, Brewer fans, American Family Insurance will be hosting their car seat safety check event on Saturday, September 12th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Sausage House. For more details, go to brewers.com.
A view from high atop Miller Park. Good crowd tonight on a Tuesday to see the Cardinals and the Brewers. Homestand wraps up tomorrow. Julio Lugo pops one up. That is going to stay playable for Rivera. 2 outs quickly for Mark DeFelice. Well, just a reminder, our U.S. Cellular text to vote question for this week. Who is the favorite for NL Cy Young right now, in your opinion? We want to hear from you. 234-234 is the short code. W for Carpenter, X for Wainwright, Y for Lincecum, and Z for Matt Cain. If you weren't with us earlier, Tim Lincecum unable to make his start against the Padres. Back spasms in San Francisco. So that'll be something to keep an eye on as the Cy Young chase continues. Carpenter, the league's leader in earned run average at 2.16. Tomorrow's pitcher for the Cardinals, Adam Wainwright, is 4th in the league. Todd Coffey getting ready for Pujols, perhaps. 0-2 the count to Ryan.
And DeFelice has thrown a couple of 4-seamers in this sequence to Brendan Ryan. It's usually just all cut fastballs, but perhaps maybe rethinking that whole plan, getting these guys looking away, and maybe bust them inside on that 4-seamer. I like it.
Nice, throwing 7 pitches in this inning, all strikes. Here's the 0-2. Make it 8 consecutive strikes. And that's the age-old success story for pitchers. When you get ahead, you don't necessarily have to throw one over the strike zone to get strikes.
The last 2 pitches that he's thrown, he hasn't thrown them in the strike zone, but Ryan's gone after him.
And Ryan lines one down the left field line. Fair ball. Braun cuts it off, but Ryan into second. Now thinking about third as Braun has trouble with it. And the throw is late. That's a triple for Brendan Ryan on an 0-2 pitch.
And that's what we're talking about. You get ahead in the count, you don't necessarily have to throw the ball over the plate. Hey, spike a pitch in front of home plate, you get it away. This one stays right up down the middle, and Ryan pulls it, able to hook it right down the left field line. Ryan Broad had a little bit of a tough time with it, and because of that, Ryan with good speed able to get into third base.
Well, here comes Ken Maka. So Brendan Ryan on base for the 3rd time, batting ahead of Pujols. And Maka will not take a chance with DeFelice. Quick trip to the mound. DeFelice is out, and Todd Coffey is in the 5th inning. word for some late inning relievers. Carlos Villanueva forced into the game in the second inning after Manny Parra leaves with neck spasms, tonight's starter. And now Todd Coffey is in for Mark DeFelice in the fifth inning.
About as early as he's been in a game. At least the earliest that we've seen him this year. 65 appearances now. That puts him in the top 10 in appearances in the National League out of the bullpen. Coffey last pitched on Sunday against the Giants. Pitched a scoreless inning.
Coffey will face Albert Pujols. Now Mark DeFelice was a pitch away from working through a 1-2-3 inning. At Brendan Ryan, no balls and 2 strikes. Ryan triples, and DeFelice exits this game without throwing a ball. 9 pitches, all strikes. But that 2-strike, 2-out triple by Ryan sets up a matchup that Ken Maka did not want to see between DeFelice and Pujols. So he goes with his velocity man out of the bullpen, Todd Coffey. And a slider to start him out, in there for a strike. Pujols has walked tonight. He's 0 for 1. The National League leader in home runs to start the day. Oh, big fastball on the corner. You can't put one any better than there.
Yep, slider on the corner, fastball on the corner. Now Coffey has the luxury of being a little bit particular where he throws this next pitch. Do you go up and in on Pujols, or do you go down and away to try to get him to chase?
0-2 to Pujols. Slider bounced over to McGee. And a great sequence. Todd Coffey does the job. He retires Pujols with a man at third, and the shutout is still intact. Rapid rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
And tonight's time of the game winner is Schmidt's Bar and Grill in Wausau. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to an April and May 2010 Brewers home game. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Schmidt's. Been there?
I have not, no.
Check, put that on your list. Your bucket list. Let's take you back, Rock. Let's go to the pitch by pitch sequence against Pujols.
They talk about using about an inch of the plate when you're talking about pitching Albert Pujols. Slider the best pitch for him to hit. Then he goes on the outside corner with a fastball. And then the slider down, he rolls right over on it. And Albert Pujols in no hurry to get down to first base.
John Smoltz back on the mound. He starts his 5th inning of work. Corey Patterson leads off. Top of the order for the Brewers. Patterson has struck out twice against Smoltz.
You know, you get a bad throw over there by Casey McGee. I mean, there's a man at third base. That could potentially, if you don't hustle down the line, cost you a run.
Pujols rarely runs him out on routine ground balls. Now, he's dealt with some leg injuries in the past.
And last thing the Cardinals want to see is Albert to blow out a hamstring, but still in all. We've seen him run pretty well.
Matter of fact, he's the Cardinal leader in stolen bases. Smoltz burns off the inside corner. 2-2. Narrow miss, and John Smoltz is red hot with Larry Vanover.
That's a nice pitch.
Now, if a young pitcher does that, you got a chance to be tossed.
And Julio Lugo going in to calm down John Smoltz, and now Larry Vanover hearing it from that Cardinal dugout.
Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan jumping in there heavy on the home plate umpire. If nothing else, then to divert his attention. And Patterson lines one right field line and foul. On 2 occasions tonight, Smoltz has been upset with the non-call of Larry Vanover, the non-strike call. But on both occasions, he's looked at him afterwards and kind of tapped on his chest as if to say, "Oh, my bad. Sorry I lost my cool out here." Well, how many times can you go to that well?
Well, certain players, and John Smoltz certainly in that category, that can probably get away with a little more with an umpire than most guys can.
Smoltz strikes him out for the 3rd time tonight. That's his 6th punch out. Well, we had a great event last night, Rock. It was the 5th annual Coups for Kids down in Racine, and what a great setting it was, right on the lakefront there, and big crowd showed up. I think they had around 1,000 people show up. It's a big charity auction, a raffle. A lot of players showed up. Marcus Hannell, the Brewers bullpen catcher, is Coups. That's his nickname, and he's in charge of the Coups for Kids. And Davey Nelson and I emceed the event, and they raised a lot of money. And, you know, they had this raffle for this sweet lawnmower. I mean, one of these industrial lawnmowers, you know?
Riding mowers?
Yeah, and it was tricked out, had neon lights under it, had the Brewers logo, signed by all the Brewers players.
Tricked out,
yeah,
huh?
It was tricked out lawnmower.
Nice.
Well, Trevor Hoffman, I don't know how many raffle tickets he bought, but however many he bought, I mean, it filled up half the bucket. And he won.
Nice.
He won it. So guess who he donated it to?
You?
No. That would make sense, because I actually mow my lawn. But he donated it to Craig Counsell, who doesn't mow his lawn.
That's right. Now, if he had won a tricked out barbecue, he would probably have given it to you. You
I
need
could have used one of those.
You don't have one.
Not yet. Working on that. Counsell and his new lawnmower ground out. Counsell said he's anxious. You know, this is the kind of lawnmower that actually takes a little bit of education. You might have to go to some sort of driving school.
If it gets away from you, you could be in trouble.
He's going to have to get with Gary to figure out how to operate this machine.
Yeah.
It's got neon blue lights under it. So when you mow the grass.
Mow in the dark.
Yeah, you can mow in the dark.
Wake the neighbors up. I'm going to talk to Coups about doing something like that for a barbecue.
Yeah. I'll put my name in that raffle. That's for sure. Get a nice grill. They raised a lot of money last night. It's just a wonderful.
I'm sure your neighbor will donate a few bucks.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do. We just go across the street when we need one. Few Clement sausages on the neighbor's grill, man. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
That's the motto in the Anderson house. We
right.
like other people's pools, other people's pets, and other people's grills.
But you provide the sausages.
Sure.
Big sausage fest at my house this weekend.
Oh, yeah? How'd that go?
Well, good. 4 of the 5 Clements Racing sausages were represented on my grill on Sunday night.
Which one missed out?
The chorizo.
It's a little spicy for the Schroeder family.
Right.
That's all right. It's an acquired taste. I'm a big fan of chorizo.
Yeah.
Like it with a little heat. 1-2 to Ryan Braun. 2 outs in the inning. And Braun takes a called strike 3, so Smoltz gets the call this time. And another 3 up, 3 down inning. He's got 7 punch outs. By the Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go. There's nothing stopping you. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of Chorizo and the Milwaukee Brewers. Good crowd tonight on a Tuesday night for baseball in Milwaukee. The homestand wraps up tomorrow. Brewers and the Cardinals in a matinee tomorrow. No television tomorrow, unfortunately. We're sad to report. You can catch that game on Brewers radio. We're going to miss Adam Wainwright and the former Cardinal Jeff Suppan. So Suppan and Wainwright tomorrow. Have to check it out with Bob Uecker and Corey Provis on Brewers radio. We're back on the air Friday in Arizona, Phoenix. First game of a 3-game series with the Diamondbacks. Four pitchers have combined for a shutout thus far. There's Corey Provis, hard at work. Look at him. Got 3 big innings every night.
He's off this inning, I assume.
That's a base hit. Holiday bounces one over the head of fielder. And a leadoff single for the Cardinals. Holiday on base for the second time. Has a single and a walk tonight.
Yeah, slice job. It really wasn't a pitch that you would think Holiday would cue off the end of the bat. It had plenty of the plate, but able to bounce it because Prince was off the line just a bit. Get it into right.
Ryan Ludwig with a runner at first. Oh, put a fastball right by him. Coffey has good velocity tonight.
And 96 in on his hands. Good pitch.
Well, Carlos Villanueva in relief of Manny Parra, who left this game after the first inning. If you're just joining us, left with neck spasms. Off the foot of Coffey, might have cost the Brewers a double play right there. If that ball gets through, both Hardy and Counsell converging, probably turns into an easy double play. Instead, it's a base hit, and the Cardinals will bring the tying run to the plate in the 6th inning.
Hey, it looked like Counsell was going to be there. He was shaded up the middle in double play depth. Not sure if Coffey did that on purpose or not, but it looked like it was going to be a double play. It might have been a 4-3 double play. Counsell looked like he was ready to make the play, but not the case. Into center field.
Runners at the corners against Coffey. Here's Mark DeRosa. DeRosa doubled in the 2nd, and he struck out his last time up. It was one of Villanueva's 6 strikeouts. Well, after facing Carlos Villanueva and Mark DeFelice, it's got to look like Todd Coffey's throwing 100 miles an hour. Coming back after Villanueva. Carlos doesn't throw hard, but he racked up 6 strikeouts in 3 innings tonight, including striking out the side in his last inning.
Well, speed seems to be the way to get to the Cardinals, though. I mean, Manny Parra, his success, we talked about it with the split finger pitches and the change-ups. Being away with the sliders and change-ups. Cardinals getting some pretty good hacks off of Coffey so far.
Walked him on 4 straight. And the Brewers are in big trouble against the Cardinals in the 6th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out.
They got the league leader in double plays grounded into at the plate. Yadier Molina has grounded into 25 double plays. You'd gladly give up a run for 2 outs in this situation. So Coffey's got to really concentrate on burying that sinker down in the zone and get that ground ball.
Well, the Brewers lead 3-0. Got a 2-run homer from Fielder in the 1st. Rivera drove in a run in the 2nd inning. John Smoltz has retired 8 straight since. His spot in the batting order is now due up 3rd in this inning. Cardinals with their best threat to score tonight. 2 hits and a walk. Bases loaded, nobody out. And here's Yadier Molina.
That's where you want to put that sinker, right down in that zone. Get the ground ball. Molina very good at hitting the ball to the opposite field, and the Brewers are giving him quite a bit in right center.
Two 2-0. That's 6 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone for Coffey. This inning is hinging on disaster. A ground ball changes it all. The Brewers content to allow the run to turn 2. The 2-0. Molina fouls it back.
And left one up. Good pitch from Molina to handle. A good pitch for him to shoot into that gap in right center, but just got under it.
All-star catcher Yadier Molina, Gold Glove Award winner last year, putting together one of his best offensive years in the big leagues. 2 balls and a strike. 3-1. Well, Coffey has no choice now. He has to throw a strike. 3-1. Nowhere to put Molina.
Not biting on that low fastball, is he? At all.
Molina is not typically a guy who takes a lot of pitches. He's a free swinger. He's having a good at-bat here. The 3-1. Had another good pitch to hit. Molina fouls it off. He's had 2 to handle and has come up empty, and now it's 3-2 on Molina.
Fouled both of them straight back. They really don't have the luxury to try to get that ball down where you want it in this situation. He's got to throw it for a strike and hope that Molina gets it on the ground somewhere. Can't try to be too fine here.
Full count, bases loaded. And Molina gets jammed. It's off the glove of Coffey. Counsell is there and turns a double play. Coffey got a piece of that baseball. So it goes 1-4 to 3 on the double play. A run comes in, but Coffey gets 2 outs with 1 swing of the bat.
Now Todd Coffey tried to bury that sinker down in the strike zone, got behind 2-0. Then he had to throw a strike, a pitch up. Molina fouls it straight back. Tried to go down again. Just couldn't find the location down in that strike zone. Molina had some good pitches to hit. Finally gets jammed. And an easy double play, but a run scores. A double play turned, and Molina barely in the shot. These guys just don't run out ground balls, do they?
3-1, the Brewers lead the Cardinals. 2 outs now with a runner at third base. And we'll take a timeout as Maka goes with his left-hander Mitch Stetter to face Rick Ankiel. Stay with us. We'll take a break. At the September 20th game against Houston, fans will have an opportunity to join Doug Melvin in supporting efforts to end breast cancer, as he will be available prior to the game for a special autograph session. Visit the Brewers Charities Doug Melvin Bobble Raffle Table located on the field concourse level anytime up to 12:45 p.m. Fans can purchase a raffle ticket for $5, chance to take home special basket of team merchandise selected by Doug Melvin, and an autographed baseball by Hank Aaron. Fans can purchase raffle tickets through the 4th inning. 2 big outs for Todd Coffey. He's out. Now Mitch Stetter is in to face Troy Gloss, who will pinch hit for Rick Ankiel.
Yeah, that just wasn't a very good matchup for the Brewers with Todd Coffey trying to throw pitches down in the zone. And Rick Gankiel at the plate, left-hander, dead low ball hitter. So Mitch Stetter on for the 64th time this year. Got a right-hander to deal with. And be careful now. You got first base open, and you would think that Tony La Russa would go to a pinch hitter with Smoltz on deck.
David Weathers loosening. Seeing pitching changes as if it were the 7th and the 8th innings in the 5th and the 6th innings here tonight. All set up by the early exit of Manny Parra, who left this game with neck spasms after 1 inning.
Cardinals have Kyle Loesch in the bullpen.
Loesch just returning from the disabled list. And Gloss draws the walk. Not a bad idea, even though Gloss is just returning from the DL. Now you force the hand of Tony La Russa, and he will take John Smoltz out. Khalil Green's going to pinch hit. So Smoltz's day is done.
Turned out to be a pretty good outing for John Smoltz. Well, he was able to settle down after the first 2 innings.
He retired the final 8 batters he faced. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. Looked like it was going to be an early exit for Smoltz. But that's what 21 years in the big leagues will do for you. His 22nd this year. So here's Khalil Green. Stetter will face the Cardinals' backup infielder. Green does not have a hit against the Brewers this year, and Stetter trying to keep it that way. He's 0 for 15. Strike, good pitch. Backdoor breaking ball, and it's 1-1.
Not a lot of options from the right side of the plate for Tony La Russa. He's got 3 lefties on the bench. And Jason LaRue, the other catcher. Khalil Green, really the only option.
Green into center field, playable for Patterson. And the inning is over. Stetter does a good job, strands a couple of runners on base. 3-1 the Brewers lead. The Brewers home run leaderboard. Braun with 28. Mike Cameron still bothered by a hamstring injury. He's been out of the lineup going on 5 days now, and he's sitting at 19. Fielder set to lead off. the Cardinals have a new pitcher, fielder pursuing Cecil Cooper's RBI record in franchise history, 126. Swings at the first offering from Kyle Loesch. And one gone. Loesch will move back into the Cardinals starting rotation. He's returning from the disabled list and appearing in his 19th game. And I suppose just a tune-up to get Loesch ready for what is supposed to be a start on Friday at last report.
Yeah, making an already very good starting rotation even better with Loesch back out there. It's been a bit of a struggle for him. Now the 5-8 record as Skip Schumacher takes over at second base. Actually, Schumacher in center field. My mistake.
Casey McGee with one away. And a big cut and a miss. 2-2 the count. Tony La Russa stated yesterday that Loesch and Smoltz would continue at the back end of this Cardinal rotation, fronted by Carpenter and Wainwright and Pinheiro. And that's one luxury that La Russa has with such a big lead in the division. 2 up, 2 down for Loesch. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text question: how many cameras are used to cover a Brewers game at Miller Park? Jody in Saukville. And the answer is 16. Our great Milwaukee crew here.
One of the many reasons why it's nice to get back to Miller Park. Not that our crews on the road are not good, they're top notch, but these guys and gals are the best in the business.
All directed by Michael Odino in the truck. Don't forget about the camera that we control up here.
The booth cam?
It's an unmanned camera
the Snoopy camera?
that we're in charge of.
Camera that does not allow us to have any privacy whatsoever throughout the day.
This is how we zoom in and zoom out.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth.
Good camera. Can't make any funny faces, throughout the course of the game. Everybody knows about it.
A lot of things you can't do.
Very deadpan, straight.
Stevie's in charge of the robotic cameras. Not that one. Garrett strikes out. And a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Loesch in his return from the disabled list. life. Great taste, less filling. And by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tundra Territory at Miller Park. Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers and the Cardinals wrap up this series tomorrow. You can catch that on Brewers Radio. No television tomorrow. Friday, we're in Arizona, take on the Diamondbacks. Fox Sports Wisconsin will have that. And then WMLW will have the game on Saturday. So, Brewers TV coming back to you on Friday night. David Weathers on the mound for the Crew. In relief of Mitch Stetter. Stetter gets the final out of the 6th inning. And Julio Lugo on the first pitch pops up, out number 1 for Weathers. Toyota game summary. The Cardinals and the Brewers, if you're just joining us, Manny Parra, 1 inning, a scoreless inning. He left with neck spasms. The Brewers struck early, a 2-run homer by Prince Fielder in the first inning. Villanueva came on in the second and went 3 scoreless against the Cardinals. Smoltz strikes out 7 in his 5 innings, and a big double play from Yadier Molina. It was the only run for the Cardinals, but they had the bases loaded and nobody out, and only managed the 1 run. And that's where we sit, 3-1 with Weathers on the pitch.
And Todd Coffey getting that big double play as the Brewers continue to pour through the bullpen in this ball game. 5th reliever used.
Back up the middle. Counsell right there. 2 outs. A chuck and duck for David Weathers, but Counsell well positioned. And 2 quick outs for Weathers.
You can see that ball slicing as it hit the ground, and an easy out to first base.
Good hands by Counsell. Now it's Pujols. Albert is 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounded out his last time up. And he hits that one deep to left center, and there it goes. Albert Pujols has belted home run number 45 of the year. And the Cardinals are within a run.
Well, you can't make mistakes like that. Looked like a changeup. It was something that was supposed to be away, maybe a sinker. Missed his location, and Pujols knocked it out of here by plenty.
No doubt about that one. Pujols, with his National League leading 45th homer, has 121 RBIs now. It's hard to believe that all of the big years he's put together, he's never won the home run title. As Matt Holliday sends one deep to center, but playable for Patterson. And the inning is over, and the Brewers hanging on by a thread. 3-2 Crew.
after the ball game. We've seen the bullpen, 5 pitchers so far. We're going to see a lot more Brewers clinging to a 3-2 lead. They've done a wonderful job, really, Dave.
Well, you know, when Manny Parra went down with the spasms in his neck, well, they had to go to the bullpen early. Villanueva did an outstanding job pitching 3 innings, you know, and get 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, but did a nice job.
And it all started with Carlos Villanueva, Davey. 3 real strong innings and 6 strikeouts.
Yes, he had everything going for him. Kept the ball down in the zone. Good breaking ball. Really had the Cardinal hitters off balance.
Then it was DeFelice, Coffey, Stetter, Weathers, and we've got some more to put in there before this one is over with. But the Brewers are going to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. J.J. Hardy is set to lead off. So we're getting ready for Brewers Live after the ball game. Don't forget, we've got our on-field instruction. We're going to borrow a couple of baseball fantasy campers of Rock's. I guess it's a husband-wife team, and Rock, we're looking forward to that one, I know.
Yeah, there are women that do attend fantasy camp, and this happens to be a married couple that comes down to Arizona every year, and it's not bad ball players either.
Well, Brad Thompson takes over on the mound for the Cardinals in relief of Kyle Loesch. And J.J. Hardy leads off. Kyle Loesch goes a scoreless inning with a strikeout, returning from a groin injury. And Loesch ready to start now on Saturday, we've been told, for the Cardinals. So a good tune-up for Loesch. Brewers need some runs. They have been shut down since the 2nd inning. Got 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Only 1 hit since. Brewers scored 3 runs on 5 hits in the first 2 innings against John Smoltz.
And it's not often that 3 runs is going to beat a Cardinals offense. Right now the Brewers have 6 outs to get. You'd like to see them be able to get some runs on the board here.
Brewers had to get into their bullpen early tonight. Parra, Villanueva, DeFelice, Coffey, Stetter, and now Weathers have all been used. 6 pitchers already in this game and still 6 outs to get. Ken Mock has been using David Weathers in multiple innings since becoming a Brewer, something he did not do as a Cincinnati Red.
That's Claudio Vargas right now getting loose in that Brewers bullpen. Pitcher spot due up 3rd.
Hardy down on strikes. Now we told you about our instructional with Fantasy Camp. Don't forget, you can get your registrations in now to sign up for Fantasy Camp 2010. It happens in Phoenix, Arizona, January 31st through February 7th. The grass is green, the sky is blue. You can call 262-679-3612, or you can log on to the web, brewers.com/fantasycamp.
Yeah, week long in Phoenix, Arizona at the Maryville Baseball Park, where the Brewers have spring training, clubhouse facilities, 2 games a day, uniforms, lockers, special locker room for the ladies. They get their own.
See Corey Hart on deck, just returning to the big leagues after a stint on the DL. The same locker Corey Hart occupies, you could occupy at Fantasy Camp.
That's right.
See there?
Prince Fielder, all the guys. Training facilities. Even have an on-premise masseuse.
Those come in handy.
You need them.
The deep tissue, especially after day 1. Oh, Rivera tied up, almost hit him. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rivera. Mike's had a good night behind the plate on his birthday. 33 years of age today, the Brewers' backup catcher. Single and an RBI in the 2nd inning against Smoltz. Full count. Rivera has 2 home runs this year. They came in the same game And he draws a walk. So a base runner for the Brew Crew with Corey Hart returning to the active roster. We had a chance to visit with Corey Hart earlier today about returning to the roster.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, like the first game down there, I walked. I got hit by a pitch, and I think Gamble actually hit a ball down right for line, so I had to go first or third. I mean, that was terrible. I'm coming around second. I hit around shortstop, and I was ready to fall over. Oh, wow. But, I just had...
Corey Hart on his stamina, saying it's terrible.
His rehab stint.
He had a standing ovation here.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, kind of threw that bite with Corey Hart's return to the roster, and he said, well, it's terrible.
Terrible, yeah. He's talking about, his experience down in the minor leagues in his first game.
Nice hand for Hart. Emergency appendectomy. A little over a month ago in San Diego. He's feeling stomach pains at Petco Park. Thought it was food poisoning. The next day it was so bad he was hunched over and they rushed him to the hospital, and surgery was on quickly. Corey was with the ball club in St. Louis last week doing a lot of base running drills. Ed Cedar was putting Corey Hart through the regular outfield drills and base running drills to get him ready for his 3-day trip down to AAA. Finally back in a Brewer uniform. And Hart into center. Playable for Schumacher for out number 2. That's good to have him back. You'll probably see Hart start to play a little more regularly now the rest of the way that he's healthy.
That's just going to be, his playing time is going to be dependent on how he's feeling. It's got to be tough to come back from an appendectomy and try to get out on the baseball field. It's like spring training all over again.
Never been on the disabled list, Corey Hart. So an unusual spot for him. Tony La Russa is on his way to the mound. With Patterson coming up, La Russa is going to make a run to the bullpen. And a left-hander is coming in, Dennis Reyes. We'll take a timeout. And the Brewers have a lead on the Cardinals, 3-2. It's a tight one. Dennis Reyes on to pitch, left-hander to match up against Corey Patterson. Ken Maka counter moves Tony La Russa with Jason Bourgeois coming off the bench.
Yes, 64 appearances and only 34 innings for Dennis Reyes. Comes in for maybe a left-hander or two, and that's it.
Jason Bourgeois takes a strike from Reyes. Mike Rivera at first base. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And And a good play back there by Molina. Blake Hawksworth will be the next Cardinal hurler. And another left-hander on deck in Craig Counsell. So Reyes will have a couple of batters if he cannot retire Bourgeois. Bourgeois has 5 hits as a Brewer, 5 for 26, batting average of 192. Has driven in 3 runs.
And a hitter that, you know, so far what we've seen from him, pretty good at making contact, particularly with 2 strikes. Doesn't strike out much.
Pops it up. And Holiday makes a catch. The inning is over. 3-2. The Brewers still leading, but we head to the 8th.
He won 191 games, a little bit lower than Smoltz, but he saved more than twice as many games as Smoltz. Right. Smoltz is a curveball. He's a hybrid guy. It's going to be hard for the voters, and I'm a Hall of Fame voter. I would agree that he's going to get in, but I think he might have to wait till the 2nd or 3rd time on the ballot, maybe, depending on what he does. Maybe if he gets the Cardinals to the World Series, it might speed things up a little bit. But he's a hybrid. He's going to confuse some voters, and there will be Brave fatigue because Glavine and Maddox are going in before him. He don't want to be tired of the Braves by then.
That was earlier today. Drew Olson from OnMilwaukee.com and Davey Nelson, all good points. And a very good point made by Drew there about John Smoltz. Brave fatigue. You can still vote, by the way. Inside corner, the current results has Davey Nelson leading by the slimmest of margins. Text Davey or Drew to 234-234.
I like the question about what's worse, hitting into a triple play or striking out 5 times. That question must have been asked by a guy that never struck out much.
You'd always rather put the ball in play, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Well, here's Vargas trying to protect a 1-run lead. Jody Garrett moves from right to center field with Corey Hart staying in and taking over in right. Ryan Ludwig leads off. 7th pitcher of the night for the Brewers.
And Vargas has been throwing the baseball pretty well, so guess what? He's the setup man tonight. The hot hand is going to get the most important roles for Ken Maka down the stretch.
And doing all he can to get it to Hoffman in the 9th. 3-2, the Brewers lead by 1 run. Cardinals have scored single tallies in the last 2 innings. Got a run in the 6th inning. They had the bases loaded, however, with nobody out in the 6th. and all they managed was 1 run, and then Pujols homered last inning.
Yeah, handle the bottom of this order, and you have a chance to get through this game without having to face Albert Pujols again. It's going to have to be 2 fairly clean innings.
Cardinals need 2 base runners from here to the end to get Pujols at the plate. Ludwig has a hit tonight. He's 1 for 3. A pitcher's duel despite Ken Maka emptying out his bullpen here tonight. Parra left after the first inning with a neck injury. Villanueva is the pitcher of record right now. He went 3 scoreless, striking out 6. And then it was a matchup situation. DeFelice for 2/3. Todd Coffey finished 1 inning, got 2 outs in the next inning. Stetter finished that inning. And then David Weathers gave up a run in the 7th inning.
But the way they've been used, the only guy you would probably not be able to use tomorrow would be Carlos Villanueva. Everybody else, rather short outing. So you can bring him back tomorrow, particularly with the day off on Thursday.
Here's a 2-2. Full count to Ludwig. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Ludwig hanging tough against Vargas. Brewers lead by a run in the 8th inning. And that one is ripped to left. Braun coming in, can't get it, and it gets by him. And now the tying run is in scoring position. That was a mistake by Braun. A bad gamble, and all of a sudden the Cardinals have a runner at second base to start this 8th inning.
Yeah, you got to play that one safe. I mean, you got to give up the single. You keep the double play in order. And Ryan really didn't come that close to catching that baseball. That ball bounced well in front of him. Down in the trademark a little bit for Ludwig, and I think Ryan Braun, as soon as he started that slide, realized he made a mistake. So now the Cardinals can tie the game without the benefit of another base hit. That's not a good defensive play.
Here's DeRosa. It's going to be a double for Ludwig. DeRosa with 8 home runs as a Cardinal. Traded from the Indians to St. Louis well before the trade deadline. Puts a fastball by him.
The strikeout here would be huge. Yeah, DeRosa, a pretty good hitter with respect to knowing the situation, and you know right now he would like to be able to get that ball to the right side. If he doesn't get a base hit, he's got to get him over to third base. So if you're Claudio Vargas, you try and crowd him with the fastball and try to have him not be able to do that. That's where they're coming inside.
DeRosa takes ball 2.
Make it tough for him to hit that ball to the right side. Yeah, I'm sorry. Problem you have here is you got DeRosa looking for a pitch middle in because he has the count in his favor.
Little half swing, he goes, unable to check it. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, the count and the situation dictates how you pitch. And that was a good pitch by Vargas. Good call by Rivera, a slider away. And couldn't hold up.
DeRosa has 21 home runs this year combined between the Indians and the Cardinals. 2-2 with Ludwig at second base. Vargas could use a strikeout. And a good play by Rivera. 3-2 the count on DeRosa now.
Adams set up inside now. A couple of back-to-back sliders. Nice thing you want to do is walk a batter. That gives Molina an opportunity to drop down a bunt and put both of them in scoring position.
The tying and the go-ahead run. This is all part of Vargas's plan. It's something he's done for a long time. It's like icing a kicker. He likes to get that hitter uncomfortable in a stance. He'll take his time between pitches. Lost him. Vargas walks DeRosa, and the Brewers are in trouble here in the 8th. 2 on, nobody out. And here comes Yadier Molina, likely to bunt in this situation.
And remember, you got Skip Schumacher on deck. And then the pitcher's spot. So this is a perfect situation for the Cardinals to drop down a bunt.
Molina with 6 sacrifice bunts this year. And Jose Oquendo, the Cardinals' third base coach. A quick word with Molina. Molina's got kind of a disappointed look on his face, as if he doesn't really want to bunt here. Or maybe he's just acting well. I mean, would be good in a poker game right now.
He does look upset, doesn't he? Shaking his head.
He got the sign and he turned around. It's like, oh man, I want to hack.
Look at him. He's already squared around. At least he looks like he's going to square around.
All right, whatever you guys want.
Maybe not.
He squares begrudgingly and takes a ball. Getting the sign from Oquendo.
It's amazing that a guy, at least he gives you the appearance that he's upset about being asked to bunt, but the guy's grounded into 26 double plays.
And one tonight that,
I mean, it's not that he can't get a base hit, that the Cardinals are trying to avoid the double play ball. Got Jose Oquendo over there consoling him, saying, don't worry about it. Hey, we know you're a good hitter. Everything's okay now.
It's all right. It's good talk. Good chat.
And you know what? That's probably not at all what Yadier Molina is, thinking about.
I tell you what, there was a moment right there. Molina turned to the Cardinal dugout. Pujols on the rail with like both hands up, like let's go, get the bunt down. Pujols pretty adamant with Molina right there. And that is called a strike, and Molina not pleased with that.
Looked like a pretty good pitch to me. Mike Rivera is up in his haunches just a bit, but looked like a strike.
Runners go, and a ground ball to Counsell. So it works just like an out. Molina just jogging to first base.
That's some kind of an attitude, isn't it? My goodness.
Gets the job done. Molina grounds out, but advances both runners.
Well, instead of getting a sacrifice and no at bat, he gets the ground ball and over, but he does advance the base runners. Pretty good bat control. And busting it down the line. An amazing sequence right there, wasn't it?
So the Brewers' hand is forced here. They will walk Schumacher.
And nobody really going over to Molina and giving him a high five, were they? That would be a high five situation.
That'd be an attaboy situation.
Runners in motion. You get the ball on the ground, do your job, but then nobody give him a time of day over there. It's amazing.
All right, so Schumacher intentionally walked. And here we go. Colby Rasmus will come off the bench. One of the leading Rookie of the Year candidates in the National League. Rasmus will be called on to hit. The bases are loaded. The tying run is at third. The go-ahead run at second. Chris Narbison getting loose. One of two lefties in that Brewer bullpen. Big spot. Vargas could use a ground ball. Rasmus has great speed. He's tough to double up. And a big power hitter in his own right. 14 home runs this year. Started with a double by Ludwig. DeRosa walked. Schumacher intentionally walked. It's a misplay by Braun in left field that led to the double, which changed the complexion of the inning. There's a strike. Good pitch from Vargas. 1-1.
Quota has had good success on getting in on some hands last few outings. Rasmus, a hitter that we've, from so far from what we've seen from him, he covers both sides of the plate pretty well.
Chris Smith now loosening for the Brewers. Rasmus second in the National League among rookies in home runs. Third among rookies in RBIs. He's driven in 45 this year. And he slices one down the left field line. That is foul. 2-2. Close call.
Why it's so important to try and crowd these guys, particularly in these situations. Rasmus taking a fastball away and almost tucking it inside that left field line. Oh, with Schumacher at first base, that might have cleared the bases. That wasn't even a strike. Pretty good plate coverage by the young lefty.
Well, some grinding going on here. The Brewers in trouble. Bases loaded. But still a chance to get out of this inning with one swing of the bat. Vargas, a ground ball pitcher when he's right. 2-2 the count. And a line drive down the right field line. Foul again. Down both lines. Foul.
We were just talking about how well he sprays the ball around line to line, huh? That was a slider down and in. Did a nice job keeping his hands in. Just missed the right field line with it. That certainly would have cleared the bases.
Well, now what do you go with?
Bust him in with a fastball right here.
2-2. Keep an eye on Rivera behind the plate. Sets up inside. Back it comes, and a pop-up foul. Vargas made a good pitch, but Rasmus able to get a piece.
Yes, it was a good pitch. Fastball in. Rasmus didn't get a very good swing at it, but able to foul it off. Got in on his hands. Good pitch. Really tied him up, but good hitter able to foul it off.
And so important for Rivera not to give away location there.
Have to slide late.
He waited till the last moment.
Hitter can really sense when a catcher sets up inside too soon.
Let's watch Rivera again. Coming back in there. Rasmus fouls another one off. Boy, this is quite a battle going on here.
M94 inside. Whenever you have a hitter that's late on your fastball, particularly a fastball in, you don't want to do him any favors by taking something off of it.
Cardinals with their rookie center fielder at the plate, pinch hitting. Colby Rasmus, bases loaded, game on the line here in the 8th. Tying run at third, go ahead run at second. The 2-2, Rasmus lays off. Rivera blocks it, nicely done. Now it's 3-2. And Vargas is going to be forced to make a pitch. That was a good take by Rasmus.
Man, he's got to throw a fastball. I'm going to try and stick that fastball on the inside corner again. Been a heck of an at bat by Rasmus.
The 8th pitch of the at bat. Vargas has thrown 29 pitches. That's a lot for a reliever getting into that danger territory. Still has 2 outs to get. Big pitch coming. 3-2 the count. Struck him out. Rasmus chases the fastball, and a huge strikeout for Claudio Vargas.
Well, Claudio doing a good job coming back. He tried to establish the breaking ball. He got behind 2-1, and that was the pitch that he almost doubled on. The slider down and in. Then he came inside a couple of fastballs. Then he tried to get him with a slider. He took it and then went up the ladder. The high fastball and a swing and a miss. 9 pitches, and Claudio Vargas 1 out away from getting out of this mess.
Top of the order, Julio Lugo batting for the 5th time tonight. Singled in his first at bat. He's 1 for 4. Likes to swing at the first pitch. Oh, this crowd will erupt if Vargas retires Lugo. Lugo acquired from the Boston Red Sox. He's been a nice addition to this Cardinal roster as well.
And a good high ball hitter.
2-0 now. We talked about the pitch count this inning for Vargas. He's now at 33 in this frame. That's a lot of pitches for any reliever, especially a guy like Vargas, who spent most of the season on the disabled list with an elbow injury.
That's a lot of pitches for a starter in 1 inning.
2-0, got to throw him a strike. And Lugo pops it foul and out of play. Might have chased one.
He likes the ball up there. That's what we were talking about. That was a fast ball down the middle, but around belt high, fouled it off.
Cardinals have the bases loaded. Long looking for Vargas. Lugo steps away. Close pitch.
Now that hadn't been a strike to anybody all night. John Smoltz been wanting that pitch all night. Didn't get it. Question I have is, how do you take it? How do you take it? In that situation, it wasn't too high. Man,
just buckled him. Boy, what a spot. Full count, bases loaded. All three runners will get a head start. Lugo stays alive. Vargas keeps pumping in the strikes.
One thing you can say for Larry Vanover, he has been consistent on that side of the plate. That hasn't been a strike all night. Whether it's a strike or not, he has not called it.
Another 3-2 offering. Tying run at third. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The runners will start with the pitch. McGee's got it. And what an inning for Claudio Vargas.
Only able to go 1 inning. Spasms in the neck with the bullpen outstanding so far tonight from Milwaukee. 6 different relievers, allowing only a couple of runs to the St. Louis Cardinals. Prince Fielder got the Brewers on the board early with a 2-run homer in the first. And Albert Pujols with number 45 bringing the Cardinals to within 1 run. Good ball game here at Miller Park.
Well, remember, it was Claudio Vargas who retired Albert Pujols in St. Louis in a bases-loaded situation and works his way through a mess in the 8th. But the Cardinals come up empty after all of that, stranding 3 base runners.
And Claudio in the dugout saying, hey, I had it all this time, all the way. No big deal, no problem.
I can
get
give you
excited.
You need me for the 9th? I can give you the 9th.
Oh, no, he can't.
Oh, no. It's Trevor time.
40 pitches. Almost. Close.
Blake Hawksworth is on the mound for the Cardinals, facing Craig Counsell.
That 23rd appearance for Hawksworth. I mean, ample supply of relievers for the Cardinals. They actually have Todd Wellemeyer, another starting pitcher, down in that bullpen. They've used 2 starters in this game out of the bullpen. Hawksworth, the 4th reliever out of the bullpen for Tony La Russa.
Kyle Loesch pitched an inning in preparation for his start on Saturday. Scoreless inning. John Smoltz went 5, gave up 3 runs. Brewers had 3 runs on the board in the first 2 innings and 5 hits. But the Crew with only 1 hit since the 2nd and 2 base runners since the 2nd inning. Trevor Hoffman beginning to get loose. He'll have the 9th, and he'll be the 8th pitcher used by Ken Maka.
But, you know, not a real big deal for tomorrow's ball game. Not that he's worried at all about tomorrow. He'd like to be able to win this one. But the way each of the relievers have been used, except for Villanueva, of course, he went 3 innings. Everybody should be available tomorrow.
Counsell rolls one out to Lugo. And out number 1.
Great job by Claudio Vargas to Julio Lugo. He fell behind 2-0 very quickly. Really not even close early in the count. And then he started to pour in the strikes. A high fastball. Lugo likes the ball up. You can see him take that pitch about mid-thigh high. That pitch on the inside corner has not been called a strike all night. And finally, Lugo grounds out to third base to end the threat. So bases loaded, 1 out, and Vargas able to get out of that mess.
Well, unfortunately for the Brewers, Albert Pujols is going to hit again. The Cardinals will have Brendan Ryan, Albert Pujols, and Matt Holliday due up in the 9th. So Trevor Hoffman will certainly earn his stripes in the 9th inning, as the Cardinals will send up their best hitters. Brewers could use some runs. Braun extended his hitting streak to 7 games with a double in the first. He's 1 for 3. Ryan still sitting on 99 career home runs. And a bouncer. Pujols up the ladder and hits the man covering the bag, Hawksworth, for out number 2. Good play by Pujols.
Trying to just time his leap. A little chopper off the plate and an easy play with the pitcher covering. Ball almost squirted out.
Well, that's a sure double if it gets by Pujols. Now Prince is up with 2 away. Fielder at the plate, presented by Wendy's. 2 for 3 tonight. Has a home run. His 38th homer of the year. That came against Smoltz in the first. And the Cardinals put the dramatic shift on with Fielder at the plate. Well, we are set up for quite a showdown with Trevor Hoffman against the middle of the Cardinals order. The Brewers got 1 inning from their starting pitcher tonight, Manny Parra. Left with a neck injury, neck spasms. Bullpen by committee. Hoffman will be the 8th pitcher in what has been a pitcher's duel here tonight. Fielder draws the walk. He's approaching a franchise record in that category as well. Prince now at 93 walks for the season. Franchise record is 99. So here's McGee now with Fielder at first. Casey's 0 for 3. Well, you can find McGee's name in most of the major offensive categories among National League rookies. 3rd in batting, 3rd in homers, 2nd in runs batted in. On the corner, a strike. 1-2 the count on McGee. Just missed.
That good movement on that fastball, done. He's got that 3/4 deliver, giving him that natural tail. And Casey got to be careful in that outside corner. Can't give up on that pitch. It starts off the outside corner.
Ooh, McGee brushed back. 3-2 now on Casey. Now get Fielder a head start at first. And McGee lays off. How about that take? What good at bat by Casey McGee.
Took something off.
So here's Jody Garrett, who singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Lined out in the 3rd, and he struck out in the 6th. He's 1 for 3.
Maybe that tailing fastball from Hawksworth. You'd think that Jody up the middle and to the opposite field, but the Cardinals are giving him a lot of room in left center. And Schumacher really shaded a lot toward right field. Look at all the room in the gap in left center. Jody stays on that ball that tails away from, could shoot that gap and score 2.
Two on, 2 out. The Brewers lead by a run. And a strike to Jody Garrett. Blake Hawksworth with 2 on, and Garrett rolls 1 to Lugo, and that is going to retire the side. It's a 3-2 Brewers lead, and we are headed to the 9th inning, and that means Trevor time in Milwaukee.
I saw him up close and personal a lot of all-star games, and my stomach would get queasy as he would only throw 8 or 9 pitches and go out and dominate. It's just amazing how he's refined it down to an art, on how his physical attributes to the game have not changed with his age, and he's still doing it. I admire, I think that position he has redefined, as well as a couple other closers, how incredibly gifted they are.
John Smoltz, his comments on Trevor Hoffman. A game started by John Smoltz and now trying to be finished by the future Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman. Brendan Ryan leads off for the Cardinals. 45th appearance for Hoffman this year. He has 30 saves, and he's only blown 2 this season. And a key batter to start this inning for Hoffman, with Albert Pujols on deck and Matt Holliday down in the hole.
Another pitch in that inside corner for Larry Vanover, not called.
On the ground right off the end of the bat, and Hardy takes care of Ryan out, number 1. And again, it sets up an all-world matchup between Hoffman and Pujols. These two squared off in St. Louis. Hoffman struck out Pujols to end the ballgame.
It was on 3 pitches, I believe. Went fastball, changeup, fastball to get him.
Albert homered his last time up to bring the Cardinals within a run. 3-2, the Brewers lead by a run. And a breaking ball from Trevor. Pujols belted his 45th home run of the year in the 7th inning. A solo shot off David Weathers. Two 2-0.
Well, you got to figure Pujols looking fastball right now. 2-0. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Let's see what Trevor throws him.
Trevor's last save came last Thursday in St. Louis. That was number 30 of the season for Hoffman. Career save number 584, which is a major league record. 3 balls, no strikes. And Pujols takes a strike. 3-1.
I've been a little bit given off that outside corner, a lot more than on the inside corner. I think it has something to do with the fact that Vanover, like all umpires, set up between the hitter and the catcher, sees that inside corner a little bit better.
Hoffman struck out Pujols in St. Louis on a fastball. What does he do with him here? 3-1. Walked him. So the tying run is aboard. Pujols draws the walk. And here comes Matt Holliday.
I really didn't want to get too cute with the fastball and throw it for strikes. He started with a slider, then he missed with a fastball down in the strike zone. Got behind 3-0, threw a fastball in the corner, and then missed with something that looked like a sinker, a fastball, on a 3-1 pitch.
They did try to turn it over a little bit, it looked like.
Yeah.
Well, here's Holliday. The big slugger takes a hack at a slider from Hoffman. That's a new pitch for Trevor this year. Something he toyed with in spring training and put it right into his arsenal. He picked it up pretty quickly on a suggestion from Jason Kendall.
Yeah, Jason Kendall has forced him to use it quite a bit. He could use it right now.
A double play, the game is over. A long ball, the Cardinals have the lead. Holiday has been on twice tonight. He's singled and scored in the 6th. He walked in the 1st. He is 1 for 3. He 11 home runs as a Cardinal, Matt Holiday. Matches his number as an Oakland Athletic.
Get that changeup down and get that ground ball.
Holiday did not face Hoffman in St. Louis. Ball and a strike with a runner at first. 2-1. Cardinals being very patient against Trevor here tonight, which is different than what we saw last Thursday. And the Cardinals were taking their hacks against Hoffman, and it was a 9-pitch save for Trevor that day.
Well, that's the key. You know, Trevor got ahead. Hitters are going to have to protect when they're down in the count. Cardinals have been ahead in the count just about all inning.
Into center field. That is well hit. Garrett is back, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run from Matt Holiday. And the Cardinals have the lead 4-3.
Well, if it's not one of them, it's the other. It's kind of the way the Cardinals have gone since Matt Holiday's arrival. Got behind in the count, or ahead in the count with a slider. Changeup down, fastball down. And there's the changeup out of the ballpark. Center field, weighted back nicely on it.
His 12th Cardinal home run. And Hoffman's 3rd blown save. Boy, what a pickup he has been. Completely changes this Cardinal lineup. And a no-doubter to center field. 400-foot blast from Matt Holiday. Four unanswered runs for the Cardinals. Brewers had the early lead, 3-0. In the 9th, the Brewers will have J.J. Hardy, Mike Rivera, and Corey Hart due up. Yeah, this crowd of over 36,000 has gone silent here at Miller Park.
Well, Matt Holiday sitting on a 2-ball, 1-strike changeup. It was up a little bit, but Trevor wanted to throw it for a strike. Almost as if Holiday was looking for it. Waited back and knocked it out of here to dead center.
Well, I guess if you were going to guess on a pitch with Trevor Hoffman, it would be his changeup. When you get ahead in the count as a hitter, he got one he could handle, and he did what he has done best for the Cardinals. Powered one out of here. That's the 2nd time in a week that Matt Holiday has done big damage late in a game against the Brew Crew. He had a 3-run home run in St. Louis last week. That proved to be a game winner.
And that's the thing that makes him so tough. You know, you pitch around pull holes, you try to get him to chase, he walks, and then it's Holiday that knocks the ball out of the ballpark. You pitch to him like the Brewers did in the 7th, and Pujols hits a home run. So what do you do? I mean, if you're Ken Maka, what do you do? What's the decision that you have to make? Walk 2 guys.
Into right, that's pretty well hit. Hard with room. He's got it. The inning is over. But Matt Holliday, a 2-run homer. The Cardinals have the lead. See if the Brewers can pick up their closer. Last week it was a 3-run homer that proved to be a game winner. Tonight a 9th-inning home run that puts the Cardinals on top 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. And now the Brewer offense trying to pick up their closer Trevor Hoffman. J.J. Hardy will lead off. It's Kyle McClellan on to pitch to pick up the save here, not Ryan Franklin, who is the National League leader in saves.
Well, hasn't pitched since September 4th against the Pirates. Pitched an inning, gave up a run and 3 hits. It's good not to have to deal with the closer. There's Ryan Franklin sitting this one out for the time being.
Franklin blew a save on Sunday. And Tony La Russa commenting that he's been worked an awful lot. And with the Cardinals having such a big lead in the division, he wants to give him a little rest as Hardy grounds out for the first out of the inning. Well, nothing wrong with McClellan's arm. He certainly has closer stuff.
And good sink on his fastball. He's got good velocity, good movement.
Corey Hart would be next. Mike Rivera has singled and walked in this game. It's 1 for 2 at the plate. He drove in the 3rd Brewers run, which came in the 2nd inning. And the Cardinals have held the Crew scoreless since. Big sweeping breaking ball from McClellan. St. Louis will have Adam Wainwright on the mound tomorrow against Jeff Suppan. Slow roller out to Ryan. And a poor throw, but Pujols able to get the tag on Rivera. 2 quick outs for McClellan. So 2 gone, a couple of ground outs. And here's Corey Hart, just returning from the disabled list in a tough spot here in the 9th inning. Has 1 major league at bat since August 2nd. That came back in the 7th inning when he flew out to center field.
There it is. Keep talking, Melina. Here we go.
1-2 to Hart. Brewers have lost significant time from key spots, not only in their batting order, but in their rotation as well. Of course, Ricky Weeks lost for the year. Hart missing a month.
That's a lot of power, a lot of run production missing in a lineup.
Hart, a 2020 performer last year, had over 20 homers and 20 stolen bases in an all-star season a year ago. Has 11 home runs this year. Hart over to third. DeRosa makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Cardinals come up with a dramatic win, a ninth-inning home run from Matt Holliday, and a 4-3 victory